Are you an artist looking to start some paint and sip events, but you're afraid you might make some mistakes when you start teaching? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you the top 3 mistakes that a lot of art instructors make. And if that resonates with you, then stick around. Hi everybody, this is JJ Long from JJArtworks, and welcome to our official YouTube channel where we help artists build profitable paint party businesses. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the biggest mistakes that a lot of beginner paint and sip instructors make when they first start teaching. And there's really just 3 big ones that I really highly recommend that a lot of beginner paint and sip instructors not do. And if you're watching this before you're teaching your first paint party, or maybe even after you've taught a few, then definitely listen up, because these are kind of 3 big mistakes that I made in the beginning, but I want to share with you all what they are so you don't make the same mistakes. So the first mistake is that they do not practice the sample painting when they go off to the event. So they actually wing it. And this is something that really is a tough learning lesson, because if you're just starting out and you just go to the venue and you set up in front of a group of people and you have the painting on the canvas, and then all of a sudden 20 people are just staring at you in silence, and you don't know what the first step is, or you don't know what step number 5 is, you tend to get nervous and you start retreating inward, and things can get ugly really fast. And I'm going to share with you a quick story of my first paint party where I didn't rehearse the painting, and it just ended, well, it started horribly and ended good because, again, I was amongst friends and family. So, but anyway, so the mistake was I didn't rehearse it, and I show up to the venue, I set up and everything, and there was like only 10 people that I was teaching that day, but 10 people staring at me, and I'm like, and I was immediately nervous because this was my first time teaching. It was actually my first time teaching in acrylics, so I was a little self-conscious, and I was like, all right, everybody, so we're gonna mix up some orange, so take some yellow and take some blue and let's mix up some orange. And I start mixing the colors, and one by one they go, I have green. And then someone else says, I have green. And then someone else says, I have green. And then I look at my plate and I'm like, I have green too. So I failed at step number 1. I know how to mix orange, but when I was nervous that day, I said the wrong 2 colors to mix. So I want to prevent you all from making that same mistake. I was so embarrassed, and people like, all right, so we're paying this kid to like teach us how to mix colors that aren't accurate. And it really is helpful to rehearse in the beginning. So I highly recommend, and when I say rehearse, you don't have to sit there and mix colors and do it in real time, do the painting. I mean, I recommend it, but you can easily just like mentally, capture in your mind the steps. So you have the finished painting on the easel, and then you're like, all right, cool. So I'm going to do the background layers first. We're going to go like light yellow to orange to red. That'll be the sky. And then we'll paint some purple for the clouds. And you just want to sort of recite or rehearse the mental order of the steps in your head. And even if you just do that, that will help avoid a lot of frustration when you actually teach, and you won't be so self-conscious, and you won't keep making more mistakes. So I actually made a lot of mistakes that day on my first paint party, but it ended good. So thank God, right? So that's the first thing. You don't want to wing it. You want to rehearse the actual sample painting. Number 2 is that you want to start on time. So I see a lot of people make the mistake of not starting on time. And I'm pretty good at starting on time, but there has been cases where I was in traffic or something, or I didn't factor in enough time for traffic on the road, and then I show up to the venue and I'm running half an hour late, and I'm rushing to set up on time, and then we end up starting the class 10 or 15 minutes late, and people looking at their watch and they're like, when are we going to start doing this? So you also have to understand that not only are you teaching, but like this is an event. Picture it like, a concert or a sporting event, and people really want to start on time. A lot of people, they're hiring a babysitter for this 2-hour block of time, so they're paying someone so they can be here. And if you start late, then you're going to end late. So just be conscious that starting on time is very important, especially also if you're doing this at a bar or restaurant. A lot of people, if you're doing it at a bar restaurant, the bar restaurant might be like, all right, so we got trivia night coming up right after the paint party, and that starts at 9 p.m. sharp. So you need to be wrapped up and done by 8:30 so we can clean up. And so, you want to be able to start on time so that you don't push things back. So that's very, very important. So that's number two. You want to start on time. Okay. Point number three goes hand in hand with point number two, but you don't want to not end on time. So you want to end on time. And again, this goes with the whole babysitter thing. Someone, a bunch of moms might be hiring babysitters to take care of their kids while they're having fun, having a date night and painting with their friends or whatever. And, if you end 15, 20 minutes, a half an hour late, then they're going to have to pay the babysitter extra money. And then that babysitter, they might be a high school kid and they got to get home to go to bed or something. So again, it goes hand in hand with point number two. You want to end on time just to be more professional. This is really important when you start doing corporate events, where if say you do, and this happens very often for corporate events, where they do like a happy hour in the afternoon, and you might paint from like maybe 1 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and then they have a Zoom meeting or something, like a company-wide event at 3 p.m. So you have to be wrapped up and done by like 2:45 or right on 3 o'clock so that they can all jump and go to a meeting. And that's happened to me a bunch of times. So you do not want to end late because it looks unprofessional, and you're basically pushing everyone's schedule back. So the timing of things is very important. And actually, we're going to tie in point number one now. The more you rehearse your painting, the more you'll be able to go through steps a lot more efficiently. And this is also very important. So say you do start off late, which is already kind of like a bad sign, or you look unprofessional. Say you start 15 minutes late, or this also happens too, where people will filter into the event late, and you sort of if you wait until every single person is there, sometimes people don't show up until like 15, 20 minutes, maybe even a half an hour late. So what I typically do is I check in with the event host and I say, hey, listen, there's maybe 80% of the people here. We're still missing like maybe 5 people. Do you want to start now? Do you want to wait 5 minutes or 10 more minutes until more people come in? And then usually the event host will give you the green light and say, you know what, JJ, just start now. These other 5 people, we can catch them up as we paint. So that's one trick that you can use if you're starting late and it's the host's issue or the guest's issue. They're just showing up late. And then what you still want to do, though, even if you start late, you still want to finish on time. So the way to finish on time after you started late is that you kind of go through the steps and you rehearse your painting, okay? So again, just to go through the 3 steps, people wing it. They don't rehearse the painting. They don't start on time. You definitely want to start on time. And then they don't end on time. And you definitely want to end on time just to be respectful of everyone's time. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in. I actually have some very exciting news if you haven't heard yet. I actually just launched my first video course. It's called Paint Party Jumpstart. This is actually a course that teaches beginner artists or even intermediate artists how to build the foundation of your paint and sip company so you can be a booking machine and you can keep getting repeat bookings. We go into things like the importance of a website, how to brand yourself across social media platforms, how to do outreach, what cold outreach looks like, how to do that, how to systematize it. I actually include cold email outreach scripts in the course. You can just copy and paste with your own outreach. And we also go into things like the technical side, like, do you need to become an LLC? Do you need liability insurance? Things like that. So it's a very, very comprehensive course, and I think it'll really help you out. If you're looking for something for free, I have something for free for you guys. Definitely click on the link below for all these different things. But I have a free ebook called Paint Party Freedom. that basically goes over the 17 reasons why you want to start a paint and sip company today. It's a very powerful free ebook. Definitely check that out. And then I also wrote a second ebook. It's called Paint Party Essentials. And that basically maps out the whole journey that you'll go through until you get to your first paint and sip party. So it's a very, very powerful book as well. I highly recommend it. Definitely check out all the links in the description below. And if this is your first time here, please subscribe. Please hit the bell notification icon so you can be notified when we come out with new videos. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you got some value out of this video, and I'll talk to you in another one. Have a good one, you guys. Bye-bye.